Hi. This is my last video in this room. Yeah, so, that's just to preface why I'm not sitting on a chair and I'm not up higher and I'm at a different angle. Can I sit on this? Will I break this? I don't know how long that's gonna last. Yeah. This video isn't about all that. It's not about the sadness of me moving and all my decorations are taken down and all my Disney stuff. And look at these shelves. Oh my goodness. Look at them. Look at them. Empty. It's about Spider-Man. Spider-Man is the most important thing right now. So fun story. I've never seen any of the Spider-Man movies. Not true. I saw one, the Amazing Spider-Man 1 or 2, I don't remember which. Doc Ock was in it. I was a young child, but I never saw the original 3. And then it was actually around the time that Captain America Civil War came out is when I really started to get into the MCU. And what do? They bring in Spider-Man. And you know, everyone knows Spider-Man. Sure, I hadn't seen the movies, but like I hear about him all the time. I knew the tropes. And I'd been on the ride at Universal, so I have been meaning to watch the old movies. And now, Spider-Man No Way Home is coming out, and I feel like it is my duty to go back and watch the old ones, or else I'm just not going to appreciate this one as much. And so I've done it. I've watched the very first Spider-Man movie from 2002, and let me tell you, it was better than I expected. I was expecting a 2002 movie, and that's exactly what I got, but it was really good. Not that 2002 movies aren't usually good, but dang, the twists, the turns, the romance, people cheating on their boyfriends and girlfriends left and right. Men are very toxic in this movie. Oh my goodness. It was interesting actually seeing the origin story of Peter Parker because, you know, you hear about it so much. I'm going into it, I knew a lot of the different hits that the plot would take. Mary Jane, with great responsibility comes great power. Scratch that, reverse it. Learning how to use your spider sense. Like, I knew that stuff was coming, but in the way it was done and it all connected in the plot, I was actually very impressed. Man, 2002. Wow. Again, not that 2002 movies weren't good. You just gotta understand, the movies I was growing up with movies that came out in 2002, were very good. They were Disney sequels. That's what I was watching growing up. I really liked Disney sequels. I wasn't watching superhero movies. I was still watching kid movies. In 2002, I was 1 year old, come to think of it. Yes, I just don't have any nostalgia connected to it. And so looking back and just taking a fresh look, fresh look, that's a really, oh man, that could be the name of a YouTube series or something. Anyway, to take a fresh look at this movie was something, it was just really good. So having watched it only once and having no notes with me, except for as I was watching, I took screenshots and kind of just wrote down my initial reaction when I saw things or heard things. I'm just gonna go at it and we're gonna see how much I know / remember / understand. So, running towards a bus. Peter is running towards a bus. He is not on the bus. He was late, I guess, and the kids hate his guts. Oh my gosh. He really likes this girl who has red hair, and her name is Mary Jane. Would I remember that if I hadn't known it before I watched the movie? Probably not. Who can forget MJ? She has a boyfriend. Are they officially dating? They were. But then this other guy likes her. But it's Peter's best friend. Dang it! And then he gets bit by a spider, and then he tries out his spider powers, and then he goes and he wrestles someone, which is kind of an unfair fight. But then he doesn't get all the money he wants, and then he lets an armed robber run past him. See, that's what's interesting about an origin story. You see he learns a lesson and learns with great power comes great responsibility. That was really hammered into my head. It was just so casual before because I never saw Uncle Ben die. By the way, that's what happens next. Uncle Ben dies, which I was very upset about. He goes after the person that killed his uncle, which was the same person that he let go. They actually let people die in movies back in 2002. Then Peter decides to actually use his powers for good and to save people. Meanwhile, he's graduating. Meanwhile, there's this guy named the Green Goblin who is somewhat of a scientist himself. And he's doing stuff. I forgot what he's doing actually, but Peter is saving people. He's being a great guy. Oh, Flash, that's his name. That's his name. MJ breaks up with Flash. That was the best part of the movie. No toxic masculinity. After that, except for yes, there is. I think she saves her from some people who are not good, who are also man, this movie. Poor MJ, can't catch a break. Peter Parker saves her, but it's a Spider-Man. And then she is just so thankful to Spider-Man, doesn't know it's Peter, kisses him right on the lips and he's upside down, and that, you know, she was still dating someone else at the time. I didn't, you know, but if you're that grateful. And it's Thanksgiving, I think is what happens after that chronologically. Green Goblin, he's creepy. Does Peter bleed or something? And he figures out that he's Spider-Man. He figures out that Peter is Spider-Man. His life is in danger. They have this great big battle. He tries to sacrifice some children, but Peter saves the children. And MJ, at the very end, Green Goblin dies. And the last thing he says is to not tell his son. And so he doesn't. And I'm pretty sure that sets up the next movie because I already watched the trailer for the second movie. But wait! Because guess what happens at the very end? Is MJ kisses Peter and is actually in love with him. And then he friend zones her. Speaking as a girl, that's kind of rough. She kind of put herself out there, man. You see the entire movie that he's like completely in love with her, but good character building. Peter Parker, like Tom Holland's Peter Parker, for it we know he's a good person just based on his actions. But to see the rougher side, the darker side of a character and then see them redeem themselves completely, what a character arc. So yes, my goal is to watch all of the Spider-Man movies before the new one comes out on December 17th, I believe it is. Until then, I'm going back to Idaho for school and I'll just be watching these movies and maybe I'll upload more videos if this one gets at least 5 likes, maybe, possibly. And once again, this video isn't about all that, but thank you everyone who has been watching. You're probably just my friends and family, but thank you everyone who's been watching all these years. I've privated like half my videos since coming home from my mission because they're kind of cringy, but I've been making videos in this room for several years. It means a lot that anyone watches. It's kind of crazy, but life moves on. Well, I keep making YouTube videos? You darn right. Just anyways, thank you for watching, whether you've watched since I was in middle school or you just randomly found this video today. Yeah. Have a good day. I'm Gabriella and I approve this message.